Incoming chat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome one more time to Incoming Chat, when we talk about marketing, business, and many other things. As you probably noticed in season 2, we've been talking a lot about very specific of marketing. And I wanted to invite Mr. Jakub Fidala, which is our SEM specialist, performance marketing guru, and overall analytics expert of not only live chat, but also chatbot and help desk and knowledge base and basically everything that we do. Jakub, welcome to the show.
Hello.
So just so everybody gets a little grasp of what Jakub does, Jakub, you want to tell us a little bit of what you've been doing for the last few years? Where's your background coming from?
I mainly do Google Ads and Google Analytics, as you mentioned, for all our products in marketing department. I also do some extra campaigns, and I create a lot of tracking stuff to measure campaigns and measure overall marketing effort.
Which is exactly why we have you here.
Yeah, performance marketing.
Because something that really caught my attention in many of the companies I work with is the fact that we measure everything, but we don't use the data. People get, look at our Google Analytics. It says this and this and that, but they don't make sense out of it.
Yeah.
And you've been helping us to, exactly. I mean, you've been helping us to grow our audience in our YouTube channel and some of our promotions, but I wanted to dig in. And what do you think about the way companies are using this data?
Yeah, I often see that only top-notch SaaS companies, big e-commerce, and sometimes smaller ones use the data as they should. They usually don't look at the analytics. They forget that it's there. They installed code and they forget about it. We may check it when something breaks, but usually they don't care. So that's a common issue, and I think that should be more
addressed.
Yeah, that should be more interesting for maybe people in marketing in general, like product managers or people responsible for content. We use analytics in content as well, right? We try to use it as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense because it's not just a matter of, all right, you go through your SEO and you figure out, let's talk about this. But the only way to prove that we did right is to look at the results.
Yeah,
but one of the things that bothers me here is as companies, right? Everybody will put their trust just in you for looking at the numbers. Because I'm looking at on my own case, when I have to do content and stuff, I sort of just ask, did it go all right? Did it do well? What about my video? But the concept of using data as part of the strategy, like how do you bring all the numbers that you're in charge of into a strategy thing? Or what is it that you tell our, not ours only, but in general, C-level people or decision makers in the company to use data?
Yeah, for C-level, that's a whole another story. Reporting there must be simple. Let's face it. Not everyone is tech savvy from marketing point. Not many people are using analytics, as I mentioned before, and not everyone has huge experience there. So usually you want to make something simple of it. Something simple like tracking extra events, tracking interactions with your content. I'm fan of doing stuff this way, seeing people are scrolling or sharing article, and you don't want to overwork it. It shouldn't be track every interaction that you can on the website, because then you go opposite way. You are complicated your report.
Yeah, because there's a lot of data. I mean,
it is a lot of data, but I'm trying to be flexible when I'm analyzing stuff and come up with new ideas and go into details.
Because last episode I was talking about the funnel, how everything works on a funnel way, and we still get a lot of questions right, we need more details. How do you use the data to figure out this funnel?
You have to for a content funnel, you would have to group the content and see on each level how many people are viewing it again. For example, that would be a typical just text content funnel for blog posts. For something else, I don't know, videos, you would check in YouTube Analytics, retention, how many people are subscribing, liking, and then seeing again your videos. So it works like it's like similar stuff on the other types of content and types of marketing. For e-commerce, you would check how many people that were logged in your e-commerce are coming back to buy your products again after what time.
Okay, all right. No, I get that bit.
Or which products initiate your basket. Maybe something is upselling and increasing your value. So you check stuff like this in analytics. It's more advanced, but in simplest form, it's just tracking extra events and checking data. And you don't have to go like to whole universe of analytics and know everything there. People often forget to check simple stuff like, did my campaign have any sessions? Or did I track it with UTMs?
And we were talking about UTMs last time too. And a lot of the stuff that we're doing, and I don't mean us as success, I mean is in general as companies, they forget these bits because they don't have anyone who knows what to do. A lot of people, I'm sure, they know Google Analytics, of course, because it's all it takes is just sign up and you get numbers, right? Yeah. And then you I have a lot of people here. But how do you build sort of a story? Like how will be the process behind building something that makes sense and eventually will make it so easy to report to C-level?
The report, the good, like my friend used to say, like good report is like good story. So
it makes total sense.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the same way in analytics. I always like when I have workshop with new people and I teach them how to use analytics, I don't say, okay, you can check this here. This is source medium. This is user behavior. This doesn't make sense. So I usually give them fishing rod instead of fish. It's better to tell them, okay, if you check main categories, you have acquisition, behavior, conversions. They all answer the questions. What are doing people right now? Live view. Where did they come from? Like acquisition. Mm-hmm. And there is behavior. So what they were doing. And all the stuff is like answers. And then if you go to the details of this report, you can add extra columns, craft something unusual for your needs.
Now, a lot of the people that listen to us, they're from small startups or people with an idea that they want to learn how to do things. When you have almost, let's say, no team, is basically 1 or 2 or 5 people company, what are the first steps they should be taking to start making sense out of the data?
Measure every campaign. That's like my idea when you start, because you want to know what works and what doesn't work. Like there was this saying, I don't remember who said it, but guy said, I know I'm overspending half of my budget on a campaign, but I don't know which one how.
Which half.
Yeah. And in performance marketing, you know everything to the one click. I mainly do Google Ads, right? But analytics is like second half. So if you measure right, then you know which half doesn't bring you customers. And then you can like cut the spend, adjust stuff. That's the performance marketing deal.
Do you think getting this knowledge, is it sort of accessible for the regular founder or even the big decision maker who wants to figure things out and don't be not be told, but go and check by themselves?
I mean, on basic level, you can easily just go there and try to read the data and just find what you need. If you need some help, there is like a lot of groups that are supporting other people with analytics and reporting. I often go to these groups and help people myself there. Right. And that's just the basic stuff, like checking sessions, checking conversion. If someone does the setup for you, then everything's fine. If you want to know more advanced stuff, that's the other story. Like you have to actually use it a lot and then figure yourself out.
I know you started doing little jobs for other companies.
Yeah.
And I mean, now you're our official performance marketer. But when companies start, right, they don't have the money, do you think it's worth for them to, for example, start doing little Google classes or like getting all these diplomas and stuff? Are they really worth it?
There is a lot of free stuff Like
Yeah,
really.
free is good. It's very good for companies.
I wouldn't go for paid ones courses, maybe, but even Google has some free training lessons from analytics and Google Ads. So if you want to learn, you can go there
For free.
Yeah, for free.
That's all. Free is always good, man. Obviously, because you've been working with us on this, we have our YouTube channel, which is, some of you are watching that here, or you're listening to the podcast, and go and check our YouTube channel on Success by Live Chat. But I wanted to ask you, because we started the channel in April. We have tons of videos, like a lot, like almost 70 videos in about 3 months, we're very proud of it. We only have a little bit over 200 subscribers for now, which we hope is going to get better. But I want you to, and don't take this too serious, I want you to roast a little bit of the things that we're doing wrong, or the things that we're doing right, or maybe what can we do to improve, because I'm sure we're not the only ones with 200 subscribers, and I'm going to take advantage of your time just to tell us.
Yeah, I sit a lot watching YouTube videos. It's always something playing in the background, even if I'm just upgrading campaigns or doing stuff, because I like to listen to stuff when I'm working. So, and it's not just content that's entertaining. I also watch stuff that's teaching me how to do stuff in marketing, in YouTube area. So we analyzed the data today.
I know. So
Nothing's perfect.
All right.
First thing, when we started to add the small images, small bits to the videos, they are keeping attention better of viewers. Mm-hmm. So that's the one thing that we are going to improve as far as we talk.
Yeah, and there's also a good advice that you gave us, and maybe you guys should try this when you talk about an article or something. Yeah. Try to link it towards the end.
People are clicking it.
Yeah, but don't do it in the beginning, because otherwise you're going to leave your video just to go and check the article.
For example, that was one from one video. We noticed that.
Yeah.
And what else? You made your podcast, the last one, yourself.
I did it myself, and it hasn't worked very well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame it on me. I'm gonna play the defense right here. And I'm gonna say one of the plus of having a video podcast is, and a guest on your podcast, is that you get to use, you get a talk.
It was missing there.
Yeah, and you also get an extra hand to promote the content, right?
Yeah.
So you sort of double dip with the promotion.
I would say it's the dialogue, the way you talk with someone about some topics, it gives the natural flow to the talk. Like if you are alone, you are talking and jumping on topics, but it doesn't change doesn't change the tempo.
Yeah, or the tone or anything.
Yeah.
I know my just tone is very
it's not about
soothing, but I think the way, and not only myself, but a lot of podcasters, when they do solo episodes, you get this numbness, not because the subject is not interesting, it's just because you get tired, because it's a tone that goes really, even if you're not monotonic, it gets sort of flat.
And that's why people a lot tend to do like shortcuts on video and change the camera angles and add extra bits there.
Now, following that video, I mean, we're doing tons of video, and a lot of companies are doing a lot of video too.
Yeah,
is it worth it to do video?
Possible.
Do you think it's better than pay-per-clicks or Google Ads, or is it a complement, or is it a better way to do it?
It's not like it's something better or worse. It depends on your company, on your topic, on your audience. It depends a lot of things. Like, for example, there are some topics that you can only advertise in PPC. You won't get any content from organic or maybe on YouTube. And there is some stuff that you will get easier to with content because it's cheaper. Software houses, for example. Mm-hmm. I think campaigns they're great, but if you have small software house, you won't have this much money to pay for the advertisement. You will go start with content and then gain the traffic like in a few months maybe.
And this is probably going to be a message that's not too many people are going to like, but it's not a fast process, isn't it?
It's never a fast process.
It takes some time to
marketing. It's idea process, I would say. It's engineering process. There is a lot of engineering right now in this. I am engineer myself. So.
Okay, then we're gonna have to dig in on that. So let's dig in more. Why is it an engineer? Marketing, in my vision, in the beginning, it was always about creativity. Let's create.
There is creativity. I would call it like playing chess and painting the figures at one time.
Oh, like that.
Because you want to show off as much as you can. Like you want to create best ads, best text ads. You want to get best CTR. And this doesn't make directly your ads cheaper, but it increases your performance. And same way, it's engineering because you separate audiences, you separate bits, you use different strategies, you set up different algorithms, you write scripts to report you some stuff that isn't included in the system. And this everything comes together as the performance.
So the engineering mind helps.
Yeah, a lot.
Now, when companies start, going back to that subject, you usually don't have this person, right? You tend to outsource some of the.
That's not wrong.
No,
that's I don't think it's wrong.
Because there's tons of agencies that will help.
Yeah,
I mean we had Tomek from Lather not long ago, which is
agencies is like mixed bag. Some of them are really good. Some of them are not. Let's face it.
Like, yeah, but it would be just like any employee, right? I mean, you end up with a good marketer or a bad marketer.
Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to agencies, there is in game the mindset, of people working there and how they develop knowledge, how they work with clients, how they approach problems with campaigns. And that's like really long story. We would have a few podcasts from this.
Oh no, absolutely. the thing is, I mean, the data, and this is how we started talking even before we started recording, is that just they're not paying attention. Companies are not paying enough attention to
clients, to
customers, and to the data that comes out of everything.
Yeah, I mean, this happens a lot in different agencies. I mean, some of them are paying a lot of attention to clients, and they listen. They are listening, and another story are the clients itself, right? They are not always right. Sometimes
they don't say that out because no, it's true, and I think as we all marketers know, the customer is not always right. We just don't want to say it now. But
I don't mind it. I mean, if I'm working with someone and he's not right, I'm trying to prove it with data.
But that's the thing. You have the data on your side.
Performance marketing, yeah.
Which makes sense.
But if I find in data that I wasn't right, then I say it as
don't
well.
say anything.
No, I will say it as well.
No, that's
I
good.
don't mind it.
Nowadays, people is very protective with the data. I mean, here in Europe, we have the GDPR. In the US, they're building their own way to protect data.
Yeah.
Look what happened with TikTok. They're going to open a new.
After Cambridge Analytica, we had a lot of work.
Exactly right. I mean, TikTok don't want to lose business out of like the fears of the data protection.
That was crazy time.
But it's going to get worse. I mean, people's going to try to be way more protective, and companies are trying to find better ways to get more data.
Yeah, I think it will go like over the top with protection, and then it will go back. The main reason is like people see this the way like companies are evil and they are collecting data to, I don't know, use it against you. They are using it for advertisement most of the time. Let's face it.
Just to make money, yeah.
And the smaller companies track stuff on their website not to identify your privacy or attack you. They are trying to optimize the website to make it better experience. And that's something people don't get often. Like I'm not tracking clicks for this button to see your name. I'm tracking this to make it on the left or right side of the website to make it easier for you to find it.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the whole idea behind like, all right, I am Google. I'm going to collect all this data just to give you a better life. But people scare now.
GDPR gave hard time to performance marketers at some point, but
you do
I don't think it's
wrong
wrong
with GDPR and you lose your company.
Yeah, but I don't think it's wrong. It's not wrong because you found out how many companies store your personal data.
Dude, I mean, everything we do, someone's storing data. And one of the things that, I don't know if it was a meme or something, but were people talking like, oh yeah, I don't want the government to know my stuff. And someone's like, dude, you have driver license, you have a passport, they have all the data that they need from you. The difference is that the governments, I guess, they'll use it for different reasons than companies. So hopefully they'll just use it to make money.
I mean, bigger companies, I think they work with governments most of the time. So
there's enough data out there. Now, you were saying that you usually get to teach some companies and some people about starting the data.
More often I do
adventure.
setup and just point to some interesting stuff, just simple. I'm not like teaching a lot of other companies. I don't do the stuff. I often do Google Tag Manager and setup tags and tracking.
What are the most important things we should be looking at as companies? What are the main data points that we should
just the simplest one. If you're in marketing, look at the source medium, sessions, campaigns, and what you are tracking. If you are a CEO level, you just check conversions and ask marketing what's going on there.
Oh, Jesus. Let's don't get that that discussion going on. What's the future with data? Like Google keeps bringing stuff up all the time. They change the algorithms. They move this up and down.
It doesn't change that much recently.
But that's the thing. Is it really? Because
they removed some stuff recently from Google Analytics, but that's it. I feel like the performance marketing isn't evolving as fast as it did like 6 years ago.
Okay, so it's sort of slowing down, you think?
Yeah. It used to be really fast. Like you'd have a lot of new types of campaigns and different changes. The small one, you have to. That was actually like just keeping track with every little change and going full with everything new and testing stuff for yourself and learning before others learn, because it gave you advantage over other agencies.
Yeah, because I remember some of the...
Now it's really slow.
Yeah, some of the early changes, people will freak out and, oh my God, Google changed the algorithm, we have to relearn.
There is more changes in SEO than in performance marketing, I would say.
Now, beyond Google, let's stop Google for a second, because there are a lot of things that you do outside Google. And we actually Facebook.
Facebook knows more than Google.
Jesus, that's keeps getting scarier. And now very popular as well, LinkedIn, obviously TikTok, or any of my.
LinkedIn is basically Microsoft now. I wonder if they are linking data together.
And well, if we're talking about data, Microsoft, which I'm not going to go ahead in this show, but Microsoft might end up buying TikTok. So the amount of data that they're going to get is just ridiculous.
Didn't think about this, but that might be missing puzzle.
Because Microsoft doesn't have social media per se. I mean, unless you count LinkedIn.
I mean, Google has YouTube.
Exactly.
Facebook has Facebook and Instagram.
Now Microsoft might have LinkedIn and TikTok, which it might change.
That will complete everything.
And then when the earth is going to explode or something. But, all right, going back to the social media. What are the main things you should be looking at social media when regarding data?
New trends, but that's like outside your data collected on your website.
Okay.
So a lot of companies are missing out opportunities for new trending stuff, and they are not utilizing it enough in social media. And you can see this in the data. Like best example for me is Cyberpunk. They are doing great job with their social media team. They're doing viral campaigns all the time. I know the guys, and the best part of what CD Projekt does with their stuff is that it's not about the money. They're just very creative. They are crazy creative.
I mean, I was telling you before, and if you're listening now, you go and check Fall Guys, which is a new game for the Nintendo Switch, and out of nowhere, they talk to Cyberpunk on Twitter saying, look, let's do something together. How many retweets you need? And Cyberpunk replied like that. They're listening, you know what I mean? In a good way. And say, yeah, we just need one. Let's do something together. And suddenly you have two of the biggest games that people are talking about right now making something together, making noise.
I've seen so much stuff on Reddit. Like people were asking stuff to Cyberpunk account and asking directly for leaks, and they were responding like with access denied and stuff like this.
Oh, wow.
Like they were sending like pieces of code to their Twitter, But and this goes viral as well. It's like the dark social you mentioned in another video.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to get, the dark social, because I wasn't aware of dark social that much. I mean, I knew the existence of the term, but there are a lot of things that we cannot measure. I mean, obviously, your job is to measure some of the actions that we do, right? Campaigns and things like that. But how do you explain a founder or someone who's running the company that there are a lot of things in marketing that you cannot grasp, you cannot measure?
I mean, it's easier to understand this like multi-channel funnels report in analytics. This is one like that gives people idea how complicated could be a road to conversion for a client. And if you go there, you can see each step, and they are aggregated by, for example, source medium or campaign. And just with this report, I usually explain people how to look on the campaign and where does it make sense. Because, for example, you can have a social media post that got person to your website, and he came back with email campaign and then converted with PPC ads. And you can actually see this data there. There is the report showing this exact
all of the steps.
Yeah. And that makes things more complicated, but also makes things easier to understand. Like, it's not linear. It's not like you make campaign, you get the conversions.
Because one of the biggest problems with that is that marketing is always looking for a ROI, right? So and they need to have some data to back up that, that was marketing. That was not, or all these sales that we got, all this revenue that we got, it was marketing. And I guess data is the only way they can prove that.
I mean, and you can use different attribution models depending on your business.
But you have to think about that before, right?
But there are tools to compare them. And like, really, there is a lot of stuff that you can pick, and you can create your own attribution model as well.
I know this is not, I mean, you know a lot about this, but this is not your main thing. But we're talking with the SEO people in our company, and how it's not about the keywords anymore. It's not about hitting the right. Now it's about proper valuing and giving stuff that
the bot has to feel that you're answering correct questions.
And that's crazy, because before it was just like the bot just need to know.
It's checking grammar, so
Jesus Christ. But looking at what the algorithm does right now, and I know you said that this whole thing is slowing down, but do you think eventually it'll be a different?
I mean, SEO isn't slowing down as much as performance.
Yeah, but is it changing a lot?
Separate SEO and performance.
Yeah,
performance doesn't change that much, and SEO is changing a bit lately.
So where should be the first focus, especially in content or marketing?
My God, that's a hard question. Like,
well, that's what we do.
It really depends on your company. Like, there could be a field where it's hard to fight with other companies, and there could be a field where it's like really easy money. So basically, if everyone is investing in content and you see that nobody's doing ads, maybe there's reason for this, maybe not. You have to test this yourself, because it's also the second thing. You can take ideas from other companies, but it may not work for you. And this will also be seen in data, right? So it depends, and you have to utilize every possible way of marketing that you come up with your ideas, you know.
And what are the companies you think they're doing it right? I'm sure you have a bunch of,
I mean, social media, as I mentioned, Cyberpunk, performance marketing, live chat.
Thanks for the mention.
No, but it's hard to like come up with from mind like this with like different ideas. I like content posts from Brand
24, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are doing good stuff. Wow, that's a hard question.
Don't feel the pressure. I mean, if let me change the question so you know, we don't get it. We don't get you with.
I don't want to mention competitors.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought we were going. So, for the last thing, just to close this part of the show, because I have a feeling we're gonna have to talk again very soon. What will be the quick advice that you can give to the people starting?
Check your data Do you craft reports in Google Data Studio that suits your needs? Because that's another cool tool that you can just link your Google Analytics, Google Ads, and check the data there.
So if you're listening, check your data.
Yeah,
that is definitely the best thing. And don't be like I know gut takes a lot of. It's very important in marketing.
Too often people check data when everything is falling apart.
That's, but also also that is just that. Use the data and make sense of the data, because otherwise there's no point of you spending an hour watching Google Analytics move up and down if you don't understand the journey or what's happening in there.
And don't start with expensive tools. Start with simple Google Analytics.
Which is free.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Well, Jakub, great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
We'll bring you again, hopefully soon. And thank you everybody for listening. And this is Incoming Chat.
Incoming Chat.